Hello again, my name is Poison Ducky, and I will be showcasing another Total War Warhammer 2 replay. Today I'm going to be playing as the Tomb Kings, another favorite of mine, versus the mighty High Elves, specifically the Techless faction. Well, over here, let's show our armies. Over here, I'm going to be a little bit, I'm not going to do quite corner camping, but it's going to be near the edge of my deployment zone. I'm going to have 4 units of skeleton spearmen, very spread out here. I'm making a very layered line of skeleton spears to be the front. Behind that, I'm going to have a regiment of renown, the King Nekesh's Scorpion Legion, which are just skeleton spearmen with poison added to it, which are very useful, especially when slowing down and being a very good supportive unit in attacking any infantry or even large units. Well, especially large units, but man, look at these black skeletons. They're so cool. All right, and in the back line here, I'm going to have some Blessed Legion of Pohawk, the skeletal archers with armor sundering, which is going to be very powerful when you focus fire enemy units. And as the secondary infantry line, I'm going to have some Tomb Guard. Tomb Guard are great units, shielded, they last a long time, and they deal very well with High Elf Spearmen. So I brought 2 of those, 2 Tomb Guard, and of course the Regiment of Renown. I'm bringing a lot of Regiment of Renowns in this army. This is going to be the Kepler Guard, which are essentially berserkers or any sort of like, they're kind of like Nekaharian warriors, but like on steroids, which they're just Tomb Guards, but they dual wield, they regenerate, they deal so much damage, and they do magic attacks. Like, there's really no infantry unit that can escape the damage of this unit. This is just an infantry killer. Like, honestly, you need like Chosen to deal with these guys. As my range component of my build, I'm going to be bringing the Chosen of the Gods, use Shabdi Great Bows, that anti-infantry, and they have shield breaker, which means shields have no effect on these projectiles. Well, they do, but it turns a silver shield into a bronze shield and a bronze shield into nothing. So very efficient against shielded units. I'm going to have a normal unit of a Shabdi with Great Bow. Just armor piercing, and just they can deal with anything. I like to use them against large units. They're very powerful against that. And of course, the mighty Bone Giant. Very powerful, just huge missile damage, super good at sniping large units like dragons and such. So I brought him in. With all of that large, those large projectiles, I had to bring High Queen Khalida. Now, she's a very interesting, not picked very often. She's like standing, hovering over her Necro Serpent. Not a very popular Tomb King's Lord, but the reason I want to pick her is because of this ability right here. The Blessing of, where is it? The Blessing of Asaph. Plus 15% missile damage, plus 15 reload skill, and plus 15 armor piercing missile damage. So extremely useful for very ranged centric Tomb Kings builds. And as my magic, I'm going to have the Lich Priest of Light. But you'll see I only have 2 spells on him. It's the Phos Protection, which increases armor and melee defense, which is just a useful, cheap, very efficient spell. And the best spell in this, on the Lore of Light, in my opinion, is Net of Amentok. The ability to just root people and then fire into them is just unparalleled. Now, over here on the High Elf side, we're going to have a lot of Lothern Seaguard. 1, 2, 3 units of Lothern Seaguard acting sort of like a front line, but of course they are like hybrid infantry that have bows. I'm sure everyone knows by now. They have the ability to shoot, and they're very good at defending themselves against calf charges. Now he's going to have just 3 normal spearmen on the other side, so he's going to have a one-sided front line. One side of Lothern, one side of spearmen. Personally, I would have mixed them in. It would have been much more efficient. If I was playing them, but you know what? You do you. Let's see here. He has a unit of Phoenix Guard, the elite halberd infantry. This is a must pick against the Tomb Kings, as obviously the Tomb Kings are very known for their constructs and extremely powerful large units. Phoenix Guard is a very good pick against us. But in my case, it's actually not that good, as I have mostly infantry. And then of course, his artillery, the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. It's not very useful right now, as you can see, his firing arc is well, he can't see me. He's not going to be able to see me until at least you're around this area. And just 2 units of normal archers. And on the flank, is the very dangerous Dragon Princes, one of the best like shock cavalry in the game. I'm surprised he didn't go for the Fireborn, which is the Regiment Renowned version, but nevertheless, Dragon Princes are very powerful, and if they get into my backline of archers or even my Ushapti or anything, it'll be extremely dangerous. I'm going to have to focus them very, very firmly. And of course, you can't have a high elf army without a sun dragon or any type of dragon. I was expecting a star dragon, but you know, sun dragon will do. Very powerful magical attacks, fire specifically, so that's what makes it dangerous, as a lot of Tomb Kings have regeneration, and regeneration means you take extra damage from fire. So it's a good pick of a sun dragon. And he's going to have his lord, just a normal prince, on a great eagle. I'm surprised he didn't put the prince on the dragon instead of just having a dragon by itself, but a prince with a flying eagle. Very fast, of course, but the eagle usually doesn't do too well in most matches I've seen, but let's see how it works out. I'm going to go right here and wajam. I obviously have the range advantage, and this map is odd. With the hill in the center, it makes kind of a, like, no one can really shoot each other, at least not very well at the beginning of the match. I'm going to move up my Bone Giant here to try to get shots on that dragon, because that's number 2 priority in my book right now. Number 1 would be the Dragon Princes, but I see the Dragon Princes coming from a flank, and it's a little too far. But it's very, I just know I have the range advantage. They're not, I didn't see that they had a bolt claw thrower as it was behind the hill, but even with, unless he had like 3 of them, he's going to have to come to me. So look at this shot. Fantastic. That seemed to miss terribly. Wow. Okay, can we go for another try? I believe in you. Oh, I went for the eagle this time. Ooh, was that a good hit? Oh, I actually hit the Phoenix Guard instead. All right, so he's going to push up here, realizing he has the range disadvantage. And I'm going to move my spearmen. These are the Regiment Renowned one. Make sure they're steady and ready to brace for the charge from the Dragon Princes. I do have another spear unit that he could possibly push into here, but that would be a mistake. So I'm actually, oh man, smart me. I move into a position so he can take a charge and not take the projectiles from the front. These spearmen do have silver shields. They're going to block about 50% of the projectiles being fired at them, so I'm okay with them being shot by archers. While they will take damage, they are the most efficient. Now here it comes. I realize the Dragon Princes are extremely dangerous. If they get in our back line, it's not GG, but it's very efficient on his part. So I focus all my Ushapti and I focus my Bone Giant on the Dragon Princes. He realizes he's taking a lot of damage. He's going to charge it, but watch this. I have my Wizard here, and the Net of Amentok. Now this is what I'm talking about. The ability to root units, and he's just going to get pelted by projectiles. I have my archers shooting at it, and they're going to reduce the armor. Only 80 armor when being fired at with our archers, and with the combined might of all that firepower, that's a dead Dragon Princess. Now I do chase with the my skeleton spears so that make sure they get off the map, because that's a very powerful unit. I do not want them coming. Now another engagement here, a breath attack from the Sun Dragon. It's going to deal a lot of damage. He's focusing on my giant, but I'm going to retreat all my units, make sure I don't blob up here, and I move back and go back into the sniping. And look at that. A huge shot in the dragon. The dragon is losing so much HP and armor sundering, only 30 armor. He's making a huge mistake by pushing in as Net of Amentok. He's going to try to focus my wizard here, which is a good play because the wizard is very dangerous. But oh, here comes the second Net of Amentok. I'm going to poison the Sun Dragon, cast the Net of Amentok, and he's stuck there. And that is a dead dragon, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to push with his infantry over here on my front, but he pushed a very big mistake here. That's 3 units of spearmen versus my unit of spearmen. Now what you want to do is use your spearmen, flank, take on my other spearmen. I had units over on the right, and I just move them over. And look at this. He's going to continue to focus on my Lich Priest right here. But here, look, this 1 unit Phoenix Guard, extremely high tier unit being stopped by just some cheap skeleton spears. We're just going to keep these units. The Tomb Guard here. Tomb Guard has a relatively good matchup against the Phoenix Guard, so I'm going to push them in. And I'm going to try to just go on a flank with my, hold the flank with my Spearmen. Making another mistake here. He's pushing in while he is holding. My Bone Giant is being heavily focused down by all these archers. It is taking. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the value for the Bone Giant. He has not spent that much ammo, and he's been just taken down. I'm going to lose my caster here, but luckily, I've spent most of my magic with the Net of Amatok, and my High Queen Khalida is a duelist that has poison attacks, and is just going to, with no armor. High Queen Khalida does not have. It does have armor-piercing attacks. So, in a duel with between two monsters, High Queen Khalida will always win, at least against a pigeon. Here is a dangerous attack, though. He's going to send the Phoenix Guard into my Queen, and the Phoenix Guard are obviously anti-large, and my Ushabti here need to move back, and I do move them back. I realize the threat, and watch this. I get my Kepler Guard were fighting this Spearman, as that's an amazing matchup for them, but I actually make a concave. I send back the Kepler Guard, I send forward some Tomb Guard, and I surround the Phoenix Guard. I'm going to send in Khalida only to poison them, and I'm going to send her right back out. So get the debuff of the poison on the Phoenix Guard, and let the Kepler Guard and Tomb Guard deal with that Phoenix Guard. My archers are doing relatively well. Only 9 kills, but the main great thing about them is the armor sundering. So my skeletons, look at this. 1 unit skeletons versus 3 spearmen, and they've been holding off for this long. It just took them this long to actually stop. He's not defending his archers, which he should definitely be doing, and he charges them into some Tomb Guard, which is a really bad play. And of course, my anti-infantry Kepler Guard will be just massacring the spearmen. I have regeneration. Spearmen are anti-large. They have high melee defense, but high melee attack, which the Kepler Guard have, which is 38, will trump melee defense, even 50. So the Kepler Guard is exactly the kind of matchup you want into these spearmen, along supported with Tomb Guards on the flank. Of course, okay, they did fire the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers are going to deal a lot of damage to my Ushabti, but look how much ammo I've used. In fact, I've run out of ammo on my Chosen of the Gods, and they're going to have to go into melee. Same here. I'm not quite out of ammo on the Ushabti here, but I'm using all my ammo. I'm getting the value of buying these units. My Spearman unit has successfully scurried off the enemy Dragon Princes and will actually come back. So I've got an entirely healthy Regiment Renown unit coming back. And they began to tear out. Due to the army losses, they're just done. I took out most of their big units, and that was a very, very good match for me. All right, let's see here for efficiency. I deployed 981, only lost 300. He deployed 756. And only lost 300 as well. Wow. That's surprising considering the army losses was relatively quick. So, High Queen Khalida, only 10 kills. That's not too bad, but mainly I did use her mainly just to apply poison and deal with the enemy lord, which was the prince in this case. Lich Priest of Light, 0 kills. That's completely fine. He did his job. Rooting both the dragon and the dragon princes was honestly the game-winning play. I had, of course, the skeletons were fantastic. They did their job. They held the line. They got like no kills, but if I'm going to pay 350 gold to stop 3 units of their spearmen, that's definitely worth it. And the Tomb Guard were fantastic. Like, look, my Tomb Guard took almost no damage. The only one that took any notable damage, and this is very little, was the Kepler Guard. In 48, 46, and 23 kills, just massacred their infantry. The Blessed Legion of Pohawk was very dangerous as it reduced the armor of all of their units, so I can get some very high damage. And the Ushabti with Great Bow. Running out of ammo on both of them was fantastic. Dealing so much damage and just taking out those Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes are a very expensive unit, and you do not want them taken out so soon. And in this case, they were. And a Sun Dragon as well. The Sun Dragon only 16 kills. That is quite. It's not a good case. And he did well for one occasion. I must give him credit where credit is due. The Bone Giant was taken out extremely efficiently by the enemy Lothern Sea Guard and archers. He focus fired it extremely hard, and it was good on his part. So only 18 kills, but he did the damage needed for the Sun Dragon and routing the Prince. So overall, it was a good game. Alright, if you like this video, you leave a like, and if you want more, subscribe. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you later.